Before you get older, you should learn these 8 principles of life. Number 1, focus on what you can change and don't worry about the things you can't. This is the most important and most practical of the Stoic practices. You can think of this as the circle of influence concept. It's the ability to differentiate between the things that are under your control and those that are not. Epictetus said, "The chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control." By focusing our energy only on those things, we can influence and not worrying about those which we can't. We can be more productive and less stressed. Number 2, treat every problem as an opportunity. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche wrote about the concept of a love of fate. The idea here is that you not only accept what happens in life, especially the bad stuff, but you actually embrace it and be grateful that it happened. Because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The Stoics had a similar attitude. This can be a hard one to practice, especially during difficult situations, but that's when it is most important. This second lesson from the Stoics relates to the first one. Because while you can't control everything that happens to you, the one thing you always have control over is how you respond to a situation or a problem. By adopting this attitude, we can turn life's obstacles into opportunities, and we can embrace life's challenges as a way to advance and improve. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Number 3, appreciate what you have. This is a simple lesson, but one that's very important to remind ourselves of. It's even more relevant in today's society, which has become very materialistic. Practicing gratitude every day has been shown to increase happiness. And it makes sense because it forces you to focus on the things you have instead of focusing on the things you don't have. Epictetus once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Number 4, bad things happen. Don't be surprised. Be prepared. The Stoics practiced an exercise they called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. The way this one works is that you start each day by imagining all the things that could possibly go wrong throughout the day. Whilst this sounds like a very depressing way to live your life, the principle behind it is a good one. It means that when we do encounter some of life's inevitable setbacks, we are less likely to collapse into a quivering mess. Instead, we are prepared and ready to respond in the most positive way possible. Some companies have started adopting this practice in the workplace by performing what's known as a premortem. At the start of a new project, the project manager will get the team to brainstorm all the things that could go wrong or get in the way of success. By planning for these events in advance, they are better equipped to manage the obstacles when they do occur. Number 5, don't fear death. Use it to give your life value. When the Stoics weren't meditating about everything that could go wrong in their lives, they also spent a lot of time reminding themselves that they were going to die. This practice was known as memento mori, meditating on your mortality. You may be thinking what a morbid and miserable bunch of people the Stoics must have been, but apparently that was not the case. Much like the previous example, the principle behind this practice is a positive one which is designed to increase happiness. Being aware that we are going to die and that it could happen at any time is intended to deliver 2 important benefits. Firstly, we should not fear death, because we all die eventually and it's going to happen regardless. In the first lesson, we see that don't worry about things you can't change. But secondly, and more importantly, it gives our lives a sense of purpose and urgency by reminding us not to waste the precious time that we do have available. In short, make the most of every day. Seneca once said, as each day arises, welcome it as the very best day of all and make it your own possession. We must seize what flees. 6. Maintain perspective and see the bigger picture. Marcus Aurelius wrote about a practice that is referred to as taking the view from above, or Plato's view. This is a very useful technique to remember when you are getting stressed about something in your life. The idea is to remind yourself that at the end of the day, we are all very insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Therefore, most of our problems are also insignificant when you put them in context of the bigger picture. So, take a step back and realize that nothing is ever as important as it seems at the moment, Marcus Aurelius said. Think of the whole universe of matter and how small your share. Number 7, don't be ashamed to ask for help. This is an important lesson for us to remember. Whilst resilience is important, and a bit of male pride can be a good thing, we should never be too proud or too macho to ask for help. Marcus Aurelius was one of the most powerful Roman emperors to ever live. Yet even he recognized the importance of showing vulnerability and accepting other people's help. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill just like a soldier on the wall of battle. So what if you are injured and can't climb up without another soldier's help?" Number 8, you never stop learning. Many years before the Stoics, it was Plato who famously said, "The more I know, the more I realize I know nothing." And the Stoics also adopted this philosophy in their teachings. It's an important lesson to remember, particularly if you find yourself getting a bit arrogant or righteous at times. There is no such thing as the perfect parent or the perfect partner. We are continually evolving and learning lessons as we go. So it's important to keep an open mind and allow ourselves the freedom to learn and improve. It's also important to approach life with curiosity and assume that everyone you meet may know something you don't. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." So never stop learning. In this channel, we spread the words of wisdom. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.